Hey guys, it's Big Mike, and like always, I want to thank you for being here today. So today we've got Julie from Velocity Futures is going to be presenting Adrienne Toghraie's Fear in Trading. So Julie's going to start us off since she's the one that has introduced Adrienne to Big Mike Trading. She's going to start it off and just briefly talk about Velocity Futures. If you guys want to ask her any questions, you can feel free to do so. Her presentation will be pretty short and direct, and then she will turn things over to Adrienne. And Adrienne is going to be talking in depth about fear in trading. Also, I suggest you check out her book. It's called Trading on Target, and I have put a link to it in the thread on Big Mike Trading. It's got actually excellent reviews on Amazon so far. I think that every single review has been a 5-star review. So, and you know me, I really love psychology type books. So I suggest checking it out. All right, guys, as you have questions, just type them into the box and we'll do the best we can to answer them. Yes, this is being recorded. As always, I will post it sometime tomorrow on the forum. All right, give me 1 second to turn things over to Julie.
Okay, let me make sure y'all can see this.
Yeah, we can see it. I would say just go ahead and maximize it full screen because it's kind of small right now.
Is that one better?
Yeah, there we go.
Are y'all on the correct screen or?
Yeah, we've got it.
Okay, great. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Julie Garza. I'm an AP with Velocity Futures, and I'd like to thank you for attending this webinar that we have today presenting Adrienne. And as Mike told you before, she is, basically, internationally recognized author over human development and financial community, and she has over 13 books on philosophy of trading and basically just highly acclaimed. So needless to say, we are very happy that she's joining us today. For me, I'm just going to go over a quick, just a very short and brief about Velocity, and then we'll turn it over to Adrienne. So hope everyone viewed this disclaimer. And after I'm done, I'll have a short Q&A. Again, we'll just transfer it over to Adrienne. So this is our main Trade with Velocity website, and there's helpful links that I'm going to just go over with you. Just a little background on Velocity. We are a full-service futures commission merchant. We were founded in 2002. Our client base consists of active traders, hedge fund introducing brokers, professional trading groups. Last year we averaged about 320,000 contracts per day, and in July of last year we processed our 400 millionth contract for our clients. We've been listed in Futures Magazine, Top 50 Brokers over the last 4 years, and we've posted, or in September of last year, we posted over $100 million in client funds held for the first time in our monthly report to the CFTC. We are a technology-based firm. We have been that way from the start, and this allows us to provide our clients with cutting-edge tools and services while maintaining extremely competitive pricing. This is a link to our commission page, and if you see, once you're on the main page, you'll see a list of products that we do offer. If you click on the commission link, it's going to expand it to another page, which is going to show you commissions dependent on the platform. They do go in different tiers, and they are all-in commissions. Pretty easy to understand, but if you have any questions, I'll go through later where you can contact the trade desk, and we can happy to walk you through all that. Also on that main page, commission page, you'll see the maintenance margin and intraday margin that we allow for each of the products. This is back to our main page. Just to get started with us, there's easy links on the page to show you how to open the account. Once you click on those links, it's going to take you to the account opening page. You can choose whichever type of account that you'd like to open. and it'll automatically take you to the application, which you can do everything online, and you can upload the documents online. Everything is pretty seamless. Once you've completed the application, it's going to automatically give you an account number, and this is just a sample of the customer portal. So this is what yours would look like once you would log in. It's going to show your balance, it's going to show your current positions, stuff like that. One thing that is confusing to some customers is once you log in, it does show the USD balance. If you do hold an account in a different currency, this screen will always show USD balance, but your statements will show the correct currency. Again, this just kind of highlights your current positions and information. There's also little reports, trading summaries down at the bottom, which are very helpful to some customers. Off to the right, you're going to see there's recent statements. If you click on more, it would go back to day one of when you started trading. You can always download and access those statements. This would also take you to the link if you needed your 1099s. It would go there as well. Down at the bottom here is the instructions on our wiring instructions. So you click on here if you would like to wire in, so you could print them out and take them to your bank, or if you'd like to wire out, it would walk you through those steps as well. Also on the main page, if there are any important notices, those will pop up here. So it is good to log into your customer portal every once in a while just to see, or if there's any holidays coming up, we post the schedules here for any early closings, and that way customers are aware of all that. At the top are just different tabs. I can't go into every single one right now, but you could click on each one and go into different tools or statements. But the main page has most heavily used information that you're going to need. So right when you log in, it's going to be pretty accessible to you. This is through the reports that we run through the customer portal. You can basically change the time interval here. You can export them to PDF. Right here you can see the report types. Each one of these reports is going to open up into a single page, but they've just been consolidated so that way y'all could get an idea of how some of them work. This here is the profit and loss curve for the time range that this person has chosen to run. This is a contract volume. Down here is a percentages of winning versus losing trades, as well as winning versus losing losses, gains and losses by hours. These are all very useful tools for our traders, and they are free as long as you have a funded account with Velocity. This is one of the most popular options that we have in our customer portal. This is the leaderboard. It's as long as you're an active trader and you opt in, you can view other traders. So basically, you can create an alias, so you're anonymous, and you can view everyone else. It shows open gain and loss, close gain and loss, net gain and loss. It shows their ranking, today's ranking. There's also month-to-date ranking. There's year-to-date ranking. In green, it's going to show the leader of each category. In blue would show where you are once you're created there. And down here on the bottom left, you'll see as of January 11th, there were 982 traders that had opted into the leaderboard. This is the lagger board. So it's the same concept, just the other end of the spectrum. This is part of the leaderboard, but it sorts by product. So if you choose the drop-down arrow and you're interested in a specific product, you can sort out the other ones and just look at the one that you're interested in. If it's left unsorted, then it would, basically the person for each product at the highest, it would sort and then going downward from there. The statistics are the last two pages. It's basically different graphs that display the whole group overall and their performance. The pie chart shows the percentages of trades up and down and flat. The top is all the products. The bottom two are different ones by product. So this one's sorted by the ES right here. There's the weighted by volume. There's just tons of reports that you can do in the customer portal, and we're constantly expanding. We're open to any emails from our customers. If they have any recommendations. IT is constantly working on this. So again, there's tons of more graphs that you can see. The green here is up, the yellow is flat and then down, and then sorted here by different products, ES, FESX, top contracts traded, heavily, the volume, ES obviously very popular. And that's very quick rundown of the customer portal. Just taking you back to our main website, just to show you some of the platforms that we do offer. There's XTrader, CQG, QST, Ninja, Sierra. We do offer free versions to go through the different options. You can always call the trade desk, and we'll be happy to run down those with you. And also we have on the website you can see kind of our network. We're always, as far as our infrastructure, we have to maintain some of the highest data centers. We have some in Chicago and Houston. Our networks use Tier 1 carriers exclusively, and we utilize self-optimizing routing technologies designated to eliminate any bottlenecking. We provide hosting facilities so you can co-locate. If you are sensitive to any latency, we do have that option for you. And we are currently spending a lot of time and money to add a second site in the CME's new data center in Aurora. So we will be, we are one of the first ones in there. And this is also the same building that the CME's matching engines will be located. So that is really good. This is also on our website, but this is the number. You can always call the trade desk at 1-800-490-9390. You can shoot an email over to operations. And on the main website, tradewithvelocity.com, in the top right corner, you'll see a chat feature. So you can also go on chat and IM questions. We basically have a 24-hour desk, so someone should always be there to be able to answer your questions. As long as the market's open, we'll be there. And I think that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. I really appreciate you stepping in while Bob's out this week.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So I don't see any questions. I think that everybody is pretty familiar with Velocity. So if anyone does think of a question, then shoot them an email at operations@velocityfutures.com. All right, guys. So thanks again, Julie. And give me 1 second, and I will be turning it over to Adrienne, and we'll get started with her Fear in Trading presentation. 1 second, guys.
Show my screen to slideshow. There we go. Okay, can everyone hear me? Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, we have the right screen and we can hear you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Velocity, for sponsoring this particular webinar. I really appreciate all of you being here from all over the world. Just for some of the people that don't know me, I've been working with traders, brokers, investors, and other high achievers for the last 22 years. I've been working with people on improving their performance. I don't teach strategy, so you're not going to get any strategy from me out of this particular webinar. Now, I know a lot of you deal with fear, and fear can be one of the biggest sabotage issues traders have. This workshop webinar, as you see, is how to deal with emotions, specifically fear, that holds you back from being the best trader you can be. Webster's dictionary defines fear as an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by an anticipation or awareness of danger, which creates anxiety and usually the loss of courage. I'm sure a lot of you have felt that in your trading. Whenever something bad happens to you in your life, you experience a loss. The way I like to explain it so you have a more tangible understanding is that losses translate to your body as negative vibrations that attach itself to your cellular structure. When there are many losses, the vibrations become very strong and accumulates in your cells over time. Then whenever you have any kind of perceived loss, all the experience of physical and psychological losses are activated. This can paralyze you so that you don't think and act appropriately. You can usually handle a small loss in trading that results from following your rules. If you get another loss in sequence, you might begin to feel uncomfortable. By the third loss in a row, your mind and body will most likely activate a fear response that is not only from this loss, but also from all of the other losses in your life. At this point, you're questioning your strategy and yourself. By the fourth loss, you're wondering if you were meant to be a trader, even though in simulation you have seen where your strategy has earned profits in the overall picture of following your rules. After this drawdown, the uncomfortable feelings you experience can make you doubt your strategy and your ability after even only one loss. It's likely that you become more hesitant and cautious to enter a trade because you're avoiding the pain and the self-recrimination. If the issues of your life aren't addressed, then whenever you anticipate having a trading loss, your body remembers the pain of previous losses and will remind you either with words that scream out in your head, remember what it felt like the last time, or you can't afford to lose money, and eventually you'll just experience the uncomfortable feeling itself without having the pictures and words attached. Fear has many faces, such as anger, frustration, anxiety, even greed. It basically translates to your mind and body as a state of stress. When you're in a state of stress, your emotions then take over, which results in you trading emotionally and not logically. In other words, you become your ignorant self that doesn't remember all of the education that you developed as a trader. You're in fight or flight mode, making dumb choices. So, let's look at some of the different types of fear and how this translates to trading decisions. Fear of loss. You hesitate to execute your trading plan for entering and exiting trades. Very often you attach the loss to what the money was intended for had you not lost it. Commitments such as your children's education, your family vacation, your retirement money, your trading account money. This brings up feelings of guilt, especially if your spouse is also counting on you earning money from that investment. The second fear we're going to look at is fear of missing out on profits. Runaway booms, tips, or news items where you're afraid to miss out on an opportunity. There's a myriad of information out there coming from news networks and other people with an opinion. This information can be very compelling for you to take action on what you perceive as good opportunity. It's especially true if it's coming from a so-called expert, wealthy person or a person who is just a good salesman. Third fear is fear of letting a profit turn into a loss. You equate your net worth with your self-worth. You want to lock in a quick profit to guarantee that you will feel like a winner. The problem is that your overall trading plan depends on you letting your profits run to bring in the full returns that your strategy promises. From having experienced receiving payment for a job well done in the past, the exchange becomes an anchor in your neurological system of expectancy. When a reward in trading is not realized, the disappointment can make you feel cheated or not worthy. So you decide not to let the markets get the better of you by trying to outsmart them. The problem is that those trades that make your strategy work are usually in the trades where you have exited early. Fear of not being right. This fear is an ego issue, which results in the desire to take winners too quickly and sit on losers in often misguided hopes of exiting at break-even. When you've experienced good results coming out of hard work, you expect that the same will follow in your trading results. The problem is that your trading is a different animal, and while it does take hard work, it also takes making the right choices of how you choose to work hard. I've met many traders over the years who've invested huge amounts in their education and have put in many hours only to find that their choices that they've made didn't allow for profitable results. Rather than taking another path, they'd often push to make what they've invested time and money into work. They don't want to feel stupid about the choices they've made. Here are other expressions of how traders interpret fear. I can't trust my strategy. Your strategy is only as good as your ability to follow it after it has been tested to be a strategy that can produce profits. I'm afraid to place a trade even though my strategy says it's a good opportunity to enter. If you can't place a trade, then it's you that needs fixing. The longer you hold off on working on this issue, the worse it's going to get. I'm afraid if I don't keep the trade, I'll lose possible profits, even though my money management has been preset. There's always another trade. Learn from the best traders who say that strict adherence to money management rules is one of the keys to most profitable results. Number 4, I'm afraid of the pain I'd feel if I lose money. You survived feeling pain before. If you don't want to experience the ultimate pain, that of not being able to become a trader, then face the fear and take the trade anyway. If that doesn't work, get help or get a real job. I'm afraid that I'm not a good enough trader to make it in this profession. You're most likely not at the moment. Can you remember all the times in your life that you were not good enough until you were? What did you do to ride that bicycle, drive that car, learn that new job, and approach the person who has now turned out to be the significant other person in your life? Every profession has a learning curve. A long journey begins with one step, and every great trader has taken that same first step. I'm afraid that I don't deserve to be successful and make more money than I'm used to. I can assure you that you only make the money that you deserve in trading. It takes time, energy, study, and skill to be a top trader. If you reach to that level of those few that make it, you most certainly deserve it. Number 7, I'm afraid that I really don't know what I'm doing. That's what teachers and coaches are for. That's what testing is all about. Until you reach the point of being sure of what you're doing, you should not risk your hard-earned money. Number 8, I'm afraid of losing more money and losing my business or my house. Trading is a business that requires risk. It's foolish to risk your base foundation of security. If you can't afford to get into the business of trading, then wait until you can. Number 9, I'm afraid of making a mistake and then losing money. I can guarantee that you'll make many mistakes. If you're not okay with making mistakes and learning from them, then trading is not for you. I'm afraid of being afraid because it's too painful. Then everything that's worthwhile will be out of reach. To be a successful trader, you must have the mindset of an entrepreneur, even if you're working for someone else. I'm afraid that if I don't make money, my spouse will give me an ultimatum. It's your responsibility to get full approval and cooperation of your spouse to become a professional trader. If you don't, then you'll either have a difficult time getting there, have to give it up, or lose your spouse. I'm afraid that someday my luck will run out and I won't be able to enjoy the lifestyle that we've become accustomed to having. This can happen as a result of many situations, a weather catastrophe, a sickness, death, or a job loss. The success you have in trading now won't assure that the future will be as rosy as it is today. And number 13, I'm afraid that I might have to give up trading and get a real job. This is why you must have a solid foundation before you start. Enough money for your trading business, inventory, for your trading account, and a good education with proven results. I need a tea break. Hold on. So let's look at what's good about fear. It's your first line of defense. It's responsible for keeping the human race going for 3.5 million years. It's a protective mechanism, can't say that word, and it's your alert to danger. And if you're not ready for trading, you will feel that it is dangerous. What specifically happens to our body when we're afraid? Our blood vessels constrict, heart rate increases, salivary glands dry, body shuts down, functioning not involved, exhausts the adrenals. Now, you don't want to be trading when you're feeling like this. Traders enhance their experience of fear when they partake in addictive behaviors which stimulate a release of adrenaline hormones. Examples are sugar, caffeine, alcohol, nicotine, drugs, and coffee. And so you want to make it worse? Do one of these. I want to tell you a story about one of the traders I've worked with. I call this riches to rags and rags to riches, but I need another drink of tea. Excuse me. This trader was named Eric. Eric came on the financial scene to become a broker in the early 90s. His father, John, gave him a good start by giving his son all of his accounts that were below $100,000. This amounted to $5 million. We'd all like to start that way. Basically, all Eric had to do was show up at work, fill orders, and the generous commissions were his. Eric became interested in trading and started to give advice to his customers. His advice came from a weak foundation of trading knowledge, and he started to lose money for his clients. Eric added to his problem by being a party animal. He frequently did not show up at work, and when he did, he was late and half-stoned. John, his father, witnessed Eric's behavior and told him that unless he straightened out, he was on his own. John died within a year of Eric's coming into the business, leaving his inheritance to his wife and his other children. This event shook Eric up to consider a change, but he was consumed with fear and bad habits. Before John passed away, he recommended that Eric work with me. John was one of my clients. After evaluating Eric, I suggested that he work with someone else. I refused to work privately with people who don't have any discipline in their lives. Eric asked me what he'd have to do for me to consider working with him. He said that he would do whatever it took, but he was not ready, and I knew that he wasn't ready. Along the way towards becoming ready, Eric kept in touch. Each time I gave him the same advice. Eric had to reach bottom before he started to turn himself around, and I considered working with him. It took another 3 years. I'm happy to report, though, that he's now a successful trader. And by the way, his father did leave him a trust that would only become available to him if the family saw sincere effort that he'd straighten out. Here is some of the advice I gave Eric. Make sure you have a business plan with a well-tested strategy in place. Now, a business plan is everything that you would put in a normal business plan plus your criteria or theory for entering and exiting a trade. Whoops, there we go. Make sure you've tested that strategy to ensure that both the strategy and you can make a profit in this simulation and then real time. Okay, number 3, have a checkoff list for entering a trade. Some software programs give you the checkoff list. Know what your risk reward is for that trade. Have an exit strategy in place. Applaud and reward yourself when you follow rules, even when it's a loss. Journalize each trade for your quarterly review of your strategy. When you see that you could be making more profits by something, but something is holding you back, take an evaluation by a qualified trader's coach to determine the issues, how serious they are, and what you have to do about them. If you have conditioned yourself with bad habits that you can't break for yourself, you need to work with a coach on reconditioning your mindset and the actions necessary to overcome the self-sabotage. Okay. If the issues of not making a profit are as a result of your trading strategy, then you'll either have to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new strategy, or, oops, you saw, let me see, I can't get it back. Let's see, back. Previous, sorry about that. First, purchase the strategy from someone and make sure that it's something that you can do. You know, just because it makes somebody else money doesn't mean it's going to make you money. Attend a trading school, hire a trading coach. If the issues are as a result of conditioning, then you can change the conditioning on your own with repeated mental rehearsal. Okay, we're going to do a mental rehearsal right now. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes and see yourself waking from a restful night's sleep of 7 or 8 hours. That's restful. Watch yourself in your mind's eye as you go through a routine where you're making good choices. See yourself getting ready for the day. Perhaps you do a morning routine of exercise or meditation. Then you take a shower, brush your teeth, and comb your hair and dress. Notice how you look in the mirror and say, I'm handsome, smart, so good looking. It's wonderful how I continue to enjoy the process of becoming the best trader I can be. Affirmations are very good in the morning. Watch as you have a nutritious breakfast of protein with herbal tea while you read the newspaper. Now approach your computer and perhaps go over your journal and your strategy. Have a checklist for what you're looking for in an opportunity, and as you see a setup, start checking off the signals that you are receiving that there is a good opportunity. When all of the criteria for entering a trade are reached, take the trade and set your stop. Acknowledge yourself for taking the opportunity and follow good rules. Good job. And last, repeat the last part of the mental rehearsal over and over and over. So you're training your subconscious mind what to do. You want to get to a point that it feels uncomfortable doing the wrong thing. If issues are deeply conditioned, then you will need something like my seminar or someone else's seminar that does reconditioning. Let's see. Okay. If the issues are from a series of major losses in your life, especially your childhood, then private coaching is necessary. If you have a pattern of making money and then losing it, then you have emotional repression issues. This is where you have a series of painful issues in the past where you haven't allowed yourself to feel the feeling through. Just like in the movie classic Gone with the Wind, where the lead character Scarlett is faced with having to take care of the people in her life during the Civil War when she had almost no resources, says, I'll think about it tomorrow. Most of us don't want to feel the pain that accompanies difficult times and events, so we stuff the emotions into our neurology like stuffing a pressure cooker, putting on the cap and putting a flame on high. When life gets too much, we explode. For a trader who has a good series of wins and then experiences any kind of discomfort, the pressure for keeping the winning streak becomes overwhelming, and then he goes against himself and loses all his profits. That is called emotional repression, and that is typical for people who who win money and then lose it. So let's look at letting go of stored up emotions on your own. Number one, give yourself the opportunity to express emotions by watching a movie or reading a sad or funny story. You want to get those emotions out. You want to feel your feelings in your normal everyday life. Play with a puppy or a toddler. Get together with friends and have each one tell a happy or a tragic event in their lives, or have them talk about the saddest and happiest story that they ever heard. Go to a hospital or visit an older young people who are struggling with life-threatening issues. If you're the kind of person who become emotional with sports, watch sporting events. If you are a person who does not allow emotion, or the issues are too deep-seated, then get help, or problem of losing money after making money will persist. I want to say something about feeling emotions. You know, everybody says you have to not feel emotions in trading. Actually, you don't want to feel the emotions that will inhibit you from taking trades. Feeling the emotions of an acknowledgement of an opportunity is actually a good thing. You don't want to repress them. And finally, and when I say and finally, pretty soon I'm going to ask you to ask questions. Feeling happy emotions are why we live our lives. Emotions that inhibit us from great accomplishments, however, take away the stuff that makes us exceptional human beings. To be a successful trader, you must be an exceptional person. At least that's my belief. Now I'm open for questions. While you are forming your questions, I want to let everyone listening know that I will offer a super duper special to everyone who calls me or emails me about my products and services. These specials I've never offered before to anyone at any time. I promised Bob I would do this as a result of Mike pushing for those specials for his people. All you have to do is say, Big Mike sent me. You could either send me an email with your telephone number or call me, because you won't see the specials on my website. You'll see what is being offered, but not the specials. These offers are only good till the end of February. Also, if you would like, you can sign up for my free weekly newsletter on my website. And if you are in New York at the New York Expo, come by and say hi. For those of you who are thinking about questions to ask, I am going to make it easy for you. You can either ask the questions that are up on the screen. I've got 13 questions from 70 questions that I've collected over time. And you could either ask any of these questions or ask questions just the way you would like to form them. And I'm going to ask Mike, when he sees questions, could you please read them to me?
Sure. We actually have a couple already. Roger wants to know, he says he's heard that it may be difficult to work with you privately, so he's wondering why that may be, or if you have any specific requirements that someone needs to meet in order to work with you, and specifically what the time commitment is.
Yes, it's a little bit difficult for people to get to me in the sense that they have to have a system or methodology they believe in. They have to have shown discipline in their life. I have to like them. They have to like me. They have to take my trader's evaluation so that we can determine the course of action. I don't want to take on people that when they're finished with me, they're not going to show a significant improvement. Now, I have seminars, I've got webinars, free webinars if you sign up. I've got many things that I offer people that are on their way up. I've written 13 books just on the subject of discipline and the psychology of trading. And you can see that all on my website, tradingontarget.com. So to get to work with me, you have to first start with the evaluation. The evaluation is in my Trading on Target course or in the first part of the course, because the course comes in 6 modules. And thank you, Roger, for allowing me to do a short commercial. Next question.
Sure. Let's see. Actually, I have a question myself. So I have not read your book, Trading on Target. It's on Amazon. So I just have some general questions as to, what the thought process was behind this book, what you specifically wanted to cover in the book. What do you find that most people have problems with, and was this book written to address any of those, or is it more, forward thinking?
Okay, let me see if I can remember everything you said. Okay, first of all, I wrote Winning Edge 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Trading on Target, which is on Amazon, is Winning Edge 5. And basically all of these books are mini workshops. This particular webinar that we're doing right now is I've actually taken from one of the chapters. So what I do is I address a specific issue. So fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being wrong, conflicts, beliefs that are not in alignment with success, all of the things that traders sabotage themselves with. So I take the issue, I talk about people that I've worked with, how we've overcome those problems, and each chapter is actually self-contained. So the idea behind the book Trading on Target was actually my doing the next one in the series, but Wiley says I had to change the title and not use Winning Edge 5, but just use Trading on Target. So I approach things from many different angles, but it's basically all the books are about overcoming all of the sabotage issues people find in their trading life and generally in life. You could actually change it from trading to some other profession, and you could find that it's useful for other professions as well. It's useful for every part of your life because a trader needs to have a balanced life, or else the areas that are not balanced are going to affect their trading. I hope that was all the answers that you wanted.
Sure. And one quick follow-up before I go back to the users' questions. Is it okay to jump straight into this book, or should someone read books 1 through 4 first?
It's not necessary. Actually, you could go to book 3 and read the end chapter and then read the first chapter. When I do evaluations with people, I will say, okay, you have issues of fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being, all the fears. And I'll say, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to address these issues first, because I want to make sure that you read about those issues before you go on to the rest of the book. And they just look in the chapters and figure out which chapters pertain to them most. Now, if you're a reader that gets through books very quickly, then you can start from 1 to 5. But whether you read book 5 first or book 1 first, it really doesn't make any difference because, as I said, each chapter is self-contained with an individual workshop that is pertaining to that particular subject.
Okay, thanks. Leon wants to know, what are the top 3 traits that you find in the top performing traders?
What are the top 3 traits in a top performing trader? I think that number 1, a person has to be entrepreneurial. They have to think like a person who is in business for themselves, even if they're working for someone else as an institutional trader. You have to think in terms of giving your own self a raise within that structure. But if you're working on your own or working as a money manager, you have to think like a businessman. And a businessman needs his financial stuff in order. He needs to run his business of trading as a shoeman would or a restaurateur would. It's when you're in business, you have to think, I'm responsible for all the decisions I make. Another thing is, now this particular answer might be a little bit controversial, but with the people that I have worked with, after they have taken care of their psychological problems, and they have gotten to a point of being consistent, and that would be the second one, and I'll mention the third one, in their trading, then it's a matter of discretionary trading. The discretionary trading does not replace your strategy. What it does is it adds an intuitive filter that filters out the worst of your trades and adds to the best of your trades. I worked with a trader many years ago, one of the best traders I've ever worked with. He made $25 million before I worked with him that year, and after I worked with him, he made $40 million. And very few of my traders have ever done that, so I don't want you to think that everybody's like that. But what I did was I asked him specifically if he let go of his worst trades, would he make more money? And he said, well, naturally I would. He was trading like 100, 200 trades a day. He was like in and out, in and out. And so what I did was we identified how he went with the flow of the markets. Now, he had a strategy, and it was a well-written strategy. He had his criteria, he had his reasons for entering and exiting trade, but he had something beyond that, and that's what it takes to be a top trader. It's something where you're in the zone, you're going with the flow, you're focused, you know that you know, and that's what a top trader does. Next.
Okay, John, I think your question was answered in there, so I'm going to skip to Paul. Paul wants to know if you believe that any maybe traumatic events in your early life, or I'm going to add maybe the way that you were raised or brought up, does that have any bearing on your ability to be successful in trading?
I'm not a trader. I'm not a successful trader. I've never been a highly successful trader. I've traded Forex, and I was good at it. All I did was take somebody's strategy that I knew was very simple, that I knew was a swing trading system that I could make money on, because all I knew was to follow the rules. And I did that for a number of months, and I did make money, but I wasn't happy doing it. My job of working as a trader's coach is a full-time job, and I work on the performance level of trading. I don't teach people strategy, although, because I've worked for 22 years with every kind of strategy that you could, possibly known to man, I probably know more about strategy than most people. But I do not consider myself a trader because, frankly, I find trading boring. Okay.
Daniel wants to know if you could talk more about part 5 of the book, and what is at the heart of mastering trading. I'm trying to read this sentence. It's a little butchered. What's at the heart of mastering trading, and elaborate on the rite of passage as a professional trader?
Oh, the truth is I haven't read that book for a long time, and I'm going to have to read it for an interview. I wish I was prepared. But what is at the heart of trading? The heart of trading is someone who is passionate, someone who is committed to follow through, someone who is willing to go through all of the hard times and sees the picture in the future as being successful, but keeps with the process. When I say keeps with the process, you have to have a goal in mind, but you have to always be in the process of getting there. Even if you're someone in school right now who has $50,000 worth of loans, and your passion is to become a trader, you make a decision and you say, I'm going to do one thing a day to further myself, to further my career as a trader. And what's interesting is opportunities will show themselves to you in very mysterious ways when you do that. So when I say heart of a trader, in fact I have a webinar on the heart of a trader, but the short answer is it's the passion, it's the no matter what you're going to do it, and nothing is going to get in your way, and you're going to create a win-win situation for everyone in life in the process of becoming that, because you don't want to kick people on the way up.
All right, and Daniel's wanted me to ask specifically if you have anything to add about the rite of passage as a professional trader.
The rite of passage. The rite of passage is to do the things that top performers do, top traders do. You have to have a base education because you're not going to be able to speak the language to your neurological system so that it can translate what it sees for you. You have to have a criteria theory, a reason to get in and out of a trade. And you have to believe in that because you have tested it. And the rite of passage is as a result of something that happens at that point in time. Trading is a trip of discovery about yourself. Then it's a trip of discovery about your spiritual self. And what I mean by spiritual, I'm not talking about religion, but it's the connection of the energy that you have within yourself that gets to the highest level of vibration. And the rite of passage is to allow for that vibration. I'm getting really advanced right now. Allow for that vibration to fulfill you in such a way that you are flowing with the markets. You know that you know. There was a trader a long time ago named Ed Stokoe. He's in one of the Market Wizards books. And we were doing seminars together, this was many years ago, and we were on the beach in Hawaii, and he looks at me and he says, I got to go make a cotton trade. And I said, well, how do you know to do that? You're not looking at a computer, you know. And he was with the market so much that he felt the energy. He felt you have to be a trader, connected with the markets. Just like you watch that new, what's his name, Lynn, the fellow that plays basketball. I mean, he's so connected with that ball and with the team members that he goes beyond everyone else because of that connection. You see it in all great leaders. And the rite of passage of anything is that transition of going from average to exceptional. But you can only do this if you overcome all of the sabotage that holds you back from seeing yourself as that kind of a person.
Okay, Paul wants to know. Yeah, Paul wants to know, what are the main reasons traders fail? Going back to your page.
Traders fail, of course, they fail because they don't have a business plan. They don't have a contingencies for everything that can go wrong and right within their business plan. They don't have a strategy that can make them money. You know, many people will study with teachers that they're really good salesmen. I could name a few, but I will not, who are at the Traders Expo, and they have big audiences, and they are extremely good at selling, but they are not traders, and they can't make money for themselves, and they can't make money for other people. So, you know, it's important that you pick the right mentors, to pick the right models to study, and you have to pick models that you can align yourself with, because just because someone has a strategy and they make money with it doesn't mean that you're going to make money with it. I know someone that trades based upon the stars, and I know someone that uses a Ouija board. I mean, I know people that have done all kinds of strange things, and for some reason they make it work. And then there are people that are very technical, and that's good for them, and then there are people that have the simplest strategies in the world, and they work as well. But you have to feel comfortable with whatever you have chosen. And then if you can't follow your rules, part of your trading experience is to overcome whatever it is. What's the good of the best trading system in the world if you can't follow it? You know, I've worked with people who will, you know, make money for a while and lose it, make money for a while and lose it, or if they overcame their psychological stuff, they would make 2, 3, 4 times as much. But for some reason they say, oh, I've got to do it on my own, or, you know, psychology is a bunch of hooey, it's all about strategy. And they come in way late in the game and they say, oh my God, I should have done this years ago, because if I was more consistent, look at what I'm making now. There was a professor that I worked with just a few months ago, and it was amazing. He's a swing trader because he's a full-time job as a professor, and he went from breaking even to now he's making $5,000 to $6,000 a day, just working a couple of hours a day. And it was all due to the fact of did he deserve the money? Did he really see the setups that he saw? And he had all these questions going on. And in simulation, he did a really good job, but he couldn't do a good job in actual performance. So, you know, I have hundreds, actually thousands probably of stories, and that's one of the things that I do in my book. I give real-life examples of people that I've worked with who have overcome these issues and the results of overcoming these issues.
Okay, Luke wants to know why do I not follow through with my daily target? Why do I always get out too soon?
Okay. Because you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your strategy, you're afraid of being wrong, you're afraid of taking a loss. You know, there are deeper reasons for all of this. That is, coaching is at several levels. Coaching is what I'm doing right now at a conscious level. One of the questions I have on here probably in the next grouping is about coaching. The coaching at a conscious level is giving good information and then having the person say, oh, I understand that. Now that I understand what I'm doing, I can transform myself. There are people that do that. They read my books, they listen to my webinars, they come to my workshops, and just as a result of what I say in giving good advice, they change. Then there is coaching at the subconscious level. Now this is where you got much deeper stuff here, things that have happened in your life when you were 7 years old, things that you don't even remember. They're back there, and you don't have to remember them. That's the wonderful thing about the type of work that I do. You don't have to know what the problem was to change it. And then there's coaching at a spiritual level, at a superconscious level, there's one more, or at an energetic level. And most coaches don't do that. A trading coach, a teacher of the markets, they all coach you at a logical, conscious level, giving good information. That's exactly what I'm doing now. But when you want to get to the deeper stuff, then you need private work, or like my top performance seminar. Of course, we overcome a lot of stuff there. So there are many ways of doing it. The best way to find out exactly what you need is, sorry, commercial, Mike, by taking my trader's evaluation. I'm trying to be really good. Next question.
Michael, excuse me, Michael wants to know, how do you get to the root cause of self-sabotage or trading sabotage issues?
Okay. The root cause of trading sabotage issues, the way they start to happen, I want you to think of your life as a series of stories. I mean, you don't think of your life as red, white, black, cold, hot, you know, with each one of your senses not working together. What you do is you put together a series of stories. And those stories are in they go one after the other, after the other, after the other. Now, those stories you give meaning to. The interpretation. The interpretation is your beliefs, your attitudes, your values, the decisions you make, how you feel about those stories. The sabotage comes in where you have created a story that has a picture within your mind that you interpret that gives you a feeling. The feeling is what ultimately makes you take action, whether it's positive or negative action. How you get rid of those issues is by recognizing those stories and changing the stories. Now, on a conscious level, you might be able to pinpoint some of those stories in your life and be able to look at them in a different way. Most people can't. Most people need private work for that type of thing. But I want you to do is write down all of the issues in your past, all of the major traumas, the losses that you've had in your past, and create a picture, and then change that picture. And see by changing that picture if you can change the feeling. Now, there are people that can do it, and as I said, most people need assistance with that particular one, but I'm giving you the formula.
Okay.
Next question. These are great questions, by the way. I'm going to change to the next screen. I've answered some of the questions here, but
okay.
you could, as I said, you could either ask these questions or the questions you're asking are great.
All right. Another Michael wants to know, is the trader's evaluation posted on your website for download?
Okay. The trader's evaluation comes as part of the Trading on Target course, the Trading on Target course comes in 6 modules. The evaluation is in the first module. So the first module is normally 150. I'm not going to tell you the special that I'm going to give to the people that call me, but it is going to be the biggest special I've ever given anyone on a webinar. But you have to call for it. I will not post it, and you have to specifically ask for it. But that's where the evaluation is, and it usually takes me a half an hour to can take 45 minutes to go through. So, you know, I'm spending a great deal of time with you. It's the best way of getting me privately without paying some of the big sums that it costs to work with me privately.
Okay, Robin wants to know, which book would you recommend starting with first?
Robin, I wouldn't say a book. I would say a package. If you're a beginning trader and you don't have a business plan, I would get the business plan package, and that is on my website. You'll see all the packages listed. If you've been in trading and you want to find out where the problems you're going to have or where the problems you have right now that keep you from making money, then I would say with package 1. Now, package 1 has the Trader's Evaluation. It has Trader Secrets. It's called the Trader Secrets package, and it has a book, a modeling study of 14 people in other professions that have made it, and a modeling study on each one of those people. There's no other book on the market that has that is the same as that. It tells you exactly why these people became successful, but I actually do the highlighting for you at the end of each chapter. And then it has Stress Relief for Traders, and Stress Relief for Traders is getting your mind ready for trading in the morning. It was a big success with floor traders years ago when I'd sell it at the CBOE and the New York Mercantile Exchange in their shops. But that's the best way of going, getting those particular packages. And as I said, big special for Mike's people.
Okay, Randy wants to know, and I'm going to expand on this slightly, Randy. Randy wants to know if you subscribe to or believe in the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and what are some of the beliefs that you feel consistently profitable traders share?
Okay. Those are 2 separate questions. First of all, I'm a master practitioner of neurolinguistics, master timeline therapist, master hypnotherapist, master gestalt therapist, Feldenkrais. I got about 20 things like that. Neurolinguistic programming, just fancy words. Neuro has to do with neurology, linguistics has to do with language, but it's basically how you've programmed yourself in your life with your beliefs, your attitudes, your values, the decisions you've made in your life for being the person you are today. The beliefs I have about it is neurolinguistic programming is a science that was put into play by Bandler and Grinder, and they studied 3 people, Virginia Satir, Milton Erickson, and I forgot the third one. But when they put that together, it was just by noticing that people's patterns of language determine a lot of their success. So the second part of the question was my beliefs about what? I forgot. Sorry.
what you think that consistently profitable traders share as far as beliefs.
Okay, belief is what's true for you. A consistently profitable trader, first of all, believes that he can do it. Believes that he is a trader. There are many people that will say to me, I'm becoming a trader. A trader knows that they're a trader even if they've never taken a trade, even if they don't know what trading is. They have that belief from the very beginning. They believe they can be successful. They have proven themselves successful, and that belief is based upon the proof of doing other things in their life successfully. They believe that that they have a strategy that will make money. They know they have a business plan that will be the guide to their becoming successful. So a belief is whatever comes out of your mouth, and just listen to what you say, and listen to what you say out, not only outwardly but also inwardly, because all those beliefs are the determining factor of who you are today. I mean, everybody in this room is successful, the rest they wouldn't be here. But what level of success are you? I mean, are you at 50,000 a year, 5 million a year, 50 million a year? What's the difference? And I'm talking about, let's just say people that start with nothing and they wind up with so much. What's the difference between one and the next? It is that driving force. It's that passion. It's that energy that I talked about that you develop as a result of being very positive about your direction and how you feel about yourself and how you feel that you will be successful no matter what.
Okay, and this kind of follows that up. Bob wants to know, do you believe in the generally widely known statistic that 99% of traders fail, and where does that leave the average person?
Okay, 70% of people fail. I forgot where I got this statistic. Fail in the fact that they get in and they lose. 11 point something percent will actually become professional traders out of all the people. Now, if you're in stocks, now this figure I got about 5 years ago. It's 65% of the people will fail. If it's commodities, it's like 90% of the people that will fail. Now, when you're in these percentages of failing, it's because most people really do dumb things. They come into the business, they get a computer, they get maybe some software that tells them where to get in and out. They don't study, they don't have a plan, they don't have the resources to do it, and they don't have the discipline background in something else. So naturally they're going to fail because they don't have all the right tools. Now, if you have all the right tools, then you're in a different percentage. So let's say you're in that 11 point something percent that you're actually a professional trader. What difference does it make between those who are just making an average good living and those who make a very, very big living? The difference is resources, it's strategy, and you know, from my standpoint, it's the psychology. I'll give you a story, and one of my favorite stories. This is another, again, super trader. This is not necessarily all the people that I work with, but this fellow was a gas trader, and he came to me as a result of my doing a seminar for his company. And he said to me, I don't want anybody to know that I'm working privately with you. I want to pay you directly. I want to trade like the big boys do. I've only made 10 million this last year. So we worked together, and the next year he made 35 million. And so he comes back to me and he says, oh, he says, you know, I'm still leaving money on the table. This went on year after year until last year. He just sent me an email, 118 million still leaving money on the table. By the way, somebody asked me what time commitments as far as working with me and private work. The way I work is if, you know, we both accept each other for private work, it's 2 days with 6 months of follow-up, and I'm very generous with my follow-up, and the follow-up is either on the phone or by email, but most of the stuff is done within those 2 days. It's not typical psychology. It's very fast, it's very effective, and it's something that will not only change your life, your trading, but it will change your life. Next.
Okay, Michael wants to know if you work with someone, and he knows this is the generalization that varies from case to case, but how long will it take to, he didn't really get specific, so I'm going to say how long would it take to see results from working with someone?
Well, first of all, I won't take a person unless I feel that there's going to be results. So it's like my averages have really gone up because of my evaluation. Let me give you something that's a little bit more down to earth. You know, not the millions. There's a man that I worked with just about a month ago, and he's in retirement, and he had done a seminar with me, and I said, if you're going to work privately with me, I don't want you to trade, I only want you to do sim trading until you see me. And in sim trading, he was making, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I mean, it was ridiculous. And he was trading like 6 to 8 hours a day in sim trading. So when I saw him, I said, okay, now you're only allowed to work 2 hours a day. And he's been giving me reports because I wanted to make sure that he's on track. He's been giving me reports every single day. And each day he's been averaging, I would say, $500 to $1,000 a day. And that's on a $100,000 account. But remember, I told him to scale, no, I don't remember, but I told him to scale back his risk to 1/3, and I told him to scale back his timing. And so, you know, that is that's an example. But people see results immediately. Everybody's different. There's no guarantees, but you know, I can tell pretty much from an evaluation where a person's going to go. If you know, if a person is working with $2,000 as opposed to $2 million, you know, there's going to be a big difference. But you know, if you have at least 20,000, 50,000 to work with, you know, you're going to see some better results. And you have to have a strategy that works. You have to, at least in sim trading, see that the strategy has value.
All right, Rob says that he has a big problem with moving stops closer too soon and taking small profits, and he wants to know if there's any tips that you have for truly accepting risk.
Please do that again. I had a mind warp at that time. Sorry.
No problem. Rob says
I know it was about risk, but tell me it again.
Yeah, Rob says he has a problem with moving his stops closer too quickly, and he takes small profits, and he wants to know if you have any tips for accepting risk.
Yes. What you do, Robert, is start to keep doing what you're doing. Tighten the stops like you're doing, and then in sim, put the stops where they're supposed to be. And notice the difference about what you would make. And if that's not a convincer to allow you to make more money, try this as well. What I want you to do is value your trades on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best. How good is this trade going to be? And then maybe with the better trades, give more leeway for stops. These are the things I can tell you consciously. Now, subconsciously you might be extremely risk adverse because of losses that you've had in other areas of your life. So the fear overtakes you and doesn't allow you to take the risk. That's another story, but at least I give you something to work with.
Okay. Gibby wants to know, do you recommend removing the profit and loss column or section from your platform while trading?
Debbie, I think that's up to you. If that makes you feel comfortable, then put it there. If it doesn't, then don't put it there. Everybody has to work with their own anchors, and if the anchors give you a feeling of support or threaten you, then act appropriately.
Okay. Michael says that he is in a cycle of self-sabotage, and he wants to learn how to accept and embrace success. More importantly, how to continue to work and improve on a daily basis. Any comments?
Okay, that's like a major question. And the reason I say something like this, so many people say, tell me how to improve my discipline, or tell me what discipline is all about in trading. And I'll say, well, I have 13 books that explain that. First of all, what you need to do is know that you have something that has value. And if you feel that it has value, notice if where you're inconsistent. Are you inconsistent in the morning or in the afternoon, or on Mondays, on Wednesdays, on Fridays? Is it the beginning of the month, the end of the month? Just notice the patterns of what you think, of what you feel, of where you're tripping up, because those patterns are going to give you an indicator of maybe you need more energy that part of the day. Maybe you shouldn't trade that part of the day, but it will be it will tell you what you need to do as far as shifting and making changes in your life or in your trading. If these things are deep-seated, well, then you're going to need a lot more information.
John wants to know how much of a factor is being wrong in trading in comparison to a conventional, regular business.
Well, in a conventional, regular business, it depends upon what that business is. I mean, if it's bungee jumping or if it's jumping out of airplanes, I mean, being wrong can be pretty serious. So wrong is defined by the risk that's involved and the consequences of that risk. But I would say with most jobs, you're not going to find that being wrong is going to bite you like seeing your bank account diminish quite considerably after you've worked really hard for that money. So by that standard, I would say that being wrong in trading is very threatening to most people because they work pretty hard for their money.
Okay, Dave wants to know, this is just a comment, what percentage return per year did the dude use, did the guy get using the Ouija board? So we'll skip that. If you can go back one slide, we got two people that had questions. John wants to know what the answer to number 10 was.
Okay, previous 10. Wait a second. I have to be able to read it. Hold on. What can I do about my fear of being wrong? Okay. Trading is all about following rules, and you're only wrong when you don't follow your rules. So you have to translate the belief of what wrong means in trading. If you have, first of all, you have to know that you have good rules. You have to know you can make money from that strategy. And if you can't make money from that strategy, then you have to go back to the drawing board. But when you know that being wrong has to do with not following rules, it's not a question about how much you're going to make in the day. You leave that aside. You tell your wife never to ask you what you've made or what you didn't make. Your wife asks you, did you follow your rules? And at the end of each trade, you ask yourself, did you follow your rules? And you can pat yourself on the back when you did follow your rules because you did the right thing. So you need to translate what being wrong is in trading. It's not losing money. It's not following rules.
Okay. So 2 questions left, and I think that'll be a good stopping point. So here's the first one. Both Rob and Martin want to know if you can answer question number 12.
What can I do about having the need to always be in the market even when there is no setup? The reason that you have a need for being in the market is because you want the action. You want the adrenaline rush. And that's not where you want to be because that is stress, and stress is going to be the downside of your profits. You need to keep your mind occupied in such a way with actions that will stimulate you, whether it's reading a book and having the signals ding-dong when it's ready, or doing some exercise, or you have to stimulate yourself in such a way, give yourself more time signals to look at. Another thing you could do is sim trade 90% of the trades, and real trade 1% of the trades, and only real trade what you think is the best trade. So you'll be always in the markets, whether it's sim or real, but you won't have money on the line. And eventually, by doing that, you'll see what the best trades are.
Okay, and so here's the last question.
Last question?
Yeah, and it's from Michael, and it's a doozy. What is the most common problem you recognize in traders?
What is the most common problem that I recognize? The most common problem is issues that deal with family beliefs that have influenced traders to where they sabotage themselves. That is the most common problem for traders that I work with. With traders, I always ask them questions on all areas of their life, and I would say that 98% of traders' problems have to do with their relationships. And most of the problems that are within a trader's mind are within the first 10 years of their life, and they might not even recognize where those were or have any memories to the effect that there were problems there. But the wonderful thing about neurolinguistics and the type of work that I do with traders is that it's very fast, and we don't have to even know what those problems are. We just deal with new resources that replace them, whatever they are, and as a result of that, we see a big difference. I could go back to saying it's about strategy and about planning and about that sort of thing, but ultimately, when we dig deep, we find out that the relationship a person has with themselves and others is at the heart of what sabotages their results. So
Okay.
Mike, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Velocity, I really appreciate being here. Everyone asked stimulating and questions, and it was a lot of fun for me. This is how you get in touch with me. You could either call me on the phone and realize that if several people call me at the same time right now, I won't be able to handle all the calls. My assistant has left. But you could write, you can email me with your telephone number, and I will call you back. If you have any questions that I haven't answered or they're personal questions, you can write to me. I answer all my emails. Realize that I'm going to be in New York Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, so I'm going to be in and out planning for my New York trip tomorrow. So you can get in touch with me this evening. I will try to get back to you this evening or tomorrow. Or if people that are listening on the recording, you can get back to me when I get back from New York next Wednesday. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity, and this was very stimulating for me, and I hope it was for you. Bye, everyone.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Adrienne, and thanks, guys, for being here, and I'll see everybody on the forum.